Hi everyone. So yesterday I did a video on infatuation, and the lovely Megan Angel Feather commented on it saying that she experienced or she noticed that people get infatuated through the internet online. And so I've been thinking about this morning, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. And yes, that is very true. People do get infatuated online, okay, through their phone, through the computer. And so I was thinking about that, and it stimulated me to record a little video about why it's important that you meet people face to face to get to know them. Okay, and that's because you cannot develop a relationship with someone through the phone. You can't do that. That's not how it works. Like when you're communicating to someone through the phone, you're missing almost all of them. You're missing almost everything about them. You're seeing their text that they're typing. You're seeing little cute gifts and videos that they're sending you, that sort of thing. But you're not actually seeing that person. You're not understanding how they interact with you in first person, in real life. Okay. And yeah, you can become infatuated through the phone. So let's think about that. How does that work? I'm just going to write some points for you guys to think about and remember. So the first one is, I'm going to just write in person. You can't actually build a relationship with someone unless you are interacting with them in person directly, because you can't actually see who they are and what they're like. Now, a second thing to think about is that the phone is very addictive. It's set up in a way so that it has the same structure as a pokie machine. When you look at your phone, it's kind of random. When every time you look at your phone, or every time you get some sort of notification on your phone, it could be interesting. It might be, but it usually isn't. Okay, so that's the same structure as pulling the arm down on a pokie machine. It's random. Every time you pull it, you might get a hit. You might get a win, but usually you don't. And so think about that. That's how your phone works as well. Every time you get a notification, it's you're being stimulated to look at it because it might be interesting this time. So the phone is addictive. So what that means is that talking to people through the phone is addictive. It's much more likely to lead you to infatuation because you're interacting with them in a way that is in fact addictive. Just think about it. Okay, and the other thing is that through the phone you can hide. You're not really yourself. You can present yourself to be a certain way. You can time your interactions. You can you have certain resources that you just don't have in person, like videos and all that. Like I said, you can GIFs and images and stuff like that. That's not how people actually interact. Okay, so it's not real. It's not authentic. Not authentic. Interacting with people all the time through the phone is not authentic. You're not getting the real person. Okay, and the other thing is that what you're doing by putting heaps of time into talking to people through the phone is you're actually missing the opportunity to develop actual interpersonal skills. Okay, because you're putting a lot of time into getting good at phone game, bants on the phone, you know, instead of actually interacting with people. So you're missing an opportunity. Missing the opportunity to practice actually interacting with people. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel, on my pages, which is something I call the conversation model. And that's why I'm always banging on about people practicing the conversation model everywhere, okay, which is a way of interacting with people. And there's 3 essential points. Each point is very big, but I'm going to just run through it very quickly, and that is be present. So be present with yourself and with the other person. Be present in your body. to enjoy yourself. Do things that you enjoy, ask questions that you enjoy, speak about things that you enjoy, be in places that you enjoy. Allow yourself to be curious about the other person and enjoy finding out about them. And 3, ask questions 70-30, which means that you, as a man, when you're trying to attract a woman, that you speak 30% or less of the time. Okay? You're not filling up the space. You're actually allowing her to fill up the space, so you get to find out about her, and she enjoys herself, so she becomes more attracted to you because she's enjoying herself. And the way that you do that is you ask questions. Okay, and so you do all these 3 things at the same time. You be present, and inside of your presence, enjoy yourself, and inside of your enjoyment of yourself, then you ask questions. That's really how it works. Super brief summary. It's a massive topic. That's a huge skill that you have to learn. Conversation model is what I call that. But that is a really easy, simple way to think about how to develop interpersonal and social skills, how to develop emotional intelligence, so you're actually able to pay attention to the person in front of you and learn about them. Okay. So I'm going to write that conversation model. And since we can now see that you can only develop a relationship with someone in person, and using the phone is addictive anyway, okay, and you're not being authentic when you're interacting with someone through the phone. Not really. Not if you haven't already got to know them in person. And by using the phone all the time, you're missing an opportunity to develop your social skills and get to know someone. And that what you should in fact be doing is practicing a conversation model so that you can get better social skills. What that tells me, what that tells us, is that if you're wanting to meet someone, if you're wanting to get to know someone rather, if you're wanting to attract them into your life, and of course this is particularly focused on men wanting to attract women, then when you connect with someone through the phone, you need to quickly transition to an in-person meeting so that you don't have these problems. It doesn't have to be immediate, but you can message someone for a few days, get to know them a little bit, but you need to fairly quickly move into an actual date. Otherwise, you're going to fall prey to all these problems and develop a relationship through the phone, which is not genuine. It's not real. You're missing opportunities, all the things I just said. So you need to quickly transition to a real date. I'm going to write quickly go to date. Boom. And that's what this is really about. Okay, this is a really good way to avoid that kind of phone infatuation. Okay, and that is why all of these things are why it's very important that you learn some dating skills, because dating is not something that just happens randomly. Dating is a skill. Being able to create a romantic situation and lead a woman through a romantic date, which is she enjoys and that you enjoy, and that builds rapport and allows you to find out about her to see if it's actually worth the 2 of you pursuing anything further another day, is a skill. It doesn't just happen randomly. It's a skill. It's a skill. You got to learn to practice that. You got to learn how to plan dates, how to conduct them. So that's the gist of this. Remember, you can't develop a relationship with someone through the phone. It has to be in person. Using the phone is addictive. You're not authentic when you're communicating through the phone. You can't really be until you've already got to know someone. Using the phone to attract someone is missing the opportunity to get to know them and to develop your social skills. You can do that by practicing the conversation model. You can develop your social skills with everyone by practicing the conversation model with everyone, so that you can then use that when you're dating and when you're meeting people. And this means that you need to quickly transition into a date with someone. That's how it works. If you're trying to attract a woman, men, you need to fairly quickly transition to an actual live interaction. Okay? And that requires you to learn dating skills. It requires you to learn this art of dating, this art of romancing women. Okay? If you've got any questions or any comments or feedback, please feel free to comment them below this video. Ask me any questions directly as well. If you feel like this is useful to you or it could be useful to someone else, please share this around, invite someone to like the page or just get involved in some way or other and watch this video. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. Peace.